Right, so in this part of the course, I want to show you lists. Now, lists are important when it comes to basically making lots of requests. For example, if you want to make lots of requests to the same website, but like with different parameters, or if you want to make different URLs to different websites, what you obviously should do is you should loop these requests through a list, right? Now, I'm going to talk about loops later on, and I'm actually going to show you an example from my stock tracker, which basically just makes requests to Google, and it basically just put a list of the URLs, and it loops through all of that, and it returns the result, right? I'll show you that later on in my stock tracker, but let's talk about lists for now. So what we can do is we can put, for example, a list of numbers. So I'm just going to call a list, right? So you can actually you can call this list whatever you want. I'm just going to call list for why not, right? And what we're going to do is I'm going to open the bracket. So remember that whenever you open a bracket, you have to close it. And let's put numbers. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And now what we're going to do is I'm just going to print the list, right? So just so you understand how this works. Okay, so let's just print this. And what we're going to get is a result of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, what we can also do is we can reverse this list so it goes in descending order. So let's make it list dot basically sort, and let's just put it into, and we're going to call reverse equals true. Now, for some reason, it has to be capital true. The small true doesn't work. I don't know why. So let's just make this, let's just run this. And as you can see, it's got basically goes in descending order. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? Now, the same thing you can actually do with text, right? So let me actually show you. So what we can do is we can do, it has to be in quotation marks, unfortunately, because it's text. So let's do admin, for example. Let's do tutorial. And let's do, for example, user. Right, I can't see my keyboard. There we go, right? Obviously, make sure that the quotation marks are basically, the word is between quotation marks, and make sure that you open and close, right? Very, very important in programming. And I'm going to leave the reverse to true, and I'm just going to run the program again. And as you can see, it gave us the result back from user tutorial to admin, right? So what I've got here is just I put random cities. As you can see, they're not in order, right? And they're not in alphabetical order. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this program. And I'm going to explain in a second how this works, right? So as you can see, Burkina Faso, Eindhoven, and basically it checks out, right? So basically the list is basically with the name of the cities. And then list, so we're specifying the list. And then dot sort. So we're basically saying that, okay, list is going to get sorted with this function. And what this function does is sorts in alphabetical order, right? So basically that's what this whole function does. You can obviously reverse this as well. So if I set this reverse to true, like I showed you 2 seconds ago, you can obviously make it to go in reverse as well. So it's going to go to, as you can see, it goes in reverse, right? And obviously it just prints out. Now, as just basically a last function that I want to show you is basically list.append. What it does, it basically appends or adds another basically entry to the list. Now, there is a lot of functions, so I'll leave a link to the functions down below in the description so you can check them out, because there's about 10, and there's basically, I'm not going to go through all of them because it will take too long, right? But obviously you're free to check them out in your own time. So I'm just going to run this program, and what you're going to see in a second is basically just going to get another entry into this list, right? So as you can see, at the end, it added London, right? You can obviously change this to whatever you want.